So my next speaker is the Chamber of Commerce in Dublin, Mary Rose Burke, who comes from Galway in the west of Ireland, and look forward to hearing from Mary Rose. Are you there?
Yes, I am, Frank. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, delighted to be with you here today. And thank you, Ambassador May and Ambassador Gilson, for your input. Sid, I look forward to engaging with you as we build out the business relationship between the two cities. I'd really like to just remind everybody on the call of the importance of Dublin. We mentioned earlier about it being a gateway into Europe, and just to remind us of the changes that has happened. And Frank mentioned that Ireland is on its way to becoming a wealthy country. I would counter that and say we need to remind ourselves constantly that we are a wealthy, successful country. We've achieved that because it has been so rapid over a couple of decades that sometimes I don't think we fully accept that we are fully a wealthy country. Dublin Chamber has about 1,300 members, and those are business members right from startups through to some of the global multinationals that are based here in Dublin. And when we represent businesses right across the greater Dublin area, those businesses employ about 350,000 people. So we very much have a finger on the pulse of all of the issues that impact on business, any of the challenges, but also the opportunities. If you look at the Greater Dublin area, it really is the economic engine of the Irish business and economy. The Greater Dublin area accounts for about half of Ireland's GDP, and 2/3 of total tax revenue is generated within the Greater Dublin area. It's also home to 4 out of every 10 people in the country. It is the tax generating element, but not just from multinationals. It also attracts over half of the tax that's raised from the self-employed community. And it's home to about 43% of all active enterprises in the state, 64% of the large industries, but also 43% of small and micro businesses. And 1/3 of all of Enterprise Ireland supported businesses are based in the Greater Dublin area. So it really is that magic fusion of all economic activity is represented and overrepresented in the Greater Dublin area. Within that, the Dublin business community itself is really dynamic and vibrant. 250 of the global financial institutions are based here, 9 out of 10 of top global software companies, the same 9 out of 10 of the global pharmaceutical companies, 14 out of 15 of the medtech globally, 8 out of 10 of the industrial automation, likewise, 8 out of 10 in insurance and aviation leasers, 14 out of top 15, and the majority of all of financial services companies, 8 out of 10 of them, have chosen Dublin as their a European and wider headquarters. So when you get that fusion in Dublin Chamber of small businesses, startup businesses, the indigenous businesses, mixed with all of those global multinationals based in Dublin, it really does create that economic vitality. It is a hub and a magnet for talent attraction. And indeed, just before the lockdown, our biggest problem was in that very dynamic and successful market, the constant attraction of talent and the problems that we hear about in Dublin, the ones that the Chamber would lobby on in terms of infrastructure and housing. Those are very much the problems of success. We have a housing problem in Dublin because so many people want to live in Dublin because it is an attractive place to live, to work, to invest, to visit, and to study. And because of that presence of so many global headquarters, you can progress your entire career in Ireland without ever leaving Dublin. So that, needless to say, puts pressure on housing. Those are not intractable problems, although sometimes they seem like that, but they are problems of success. When I look then at what does the Chamber do within that, so we have this extraordinary milieu of dynamic creative businesses that really employ such talented people and attract such talented people. That's underpinned by the success of both our industrial policy and also our education policy. We're also lucky to be home to so many fantastic educational institutions, having University College Dublin, Trinity College, Maynooth, TU Dublin and DCU, as well as a plethora of private colleges providing huge opportunities in education. And we know it's that long-term focus on education has driven the economic success that is both Dublin and the Irish economic success story. What the Chamber does to support that is to make sure that we support your business to be successful in a successful Dublin. And that means providing the knowledge, the influence, and the connectivity. And for the purpose of today, it's very much about focusing on that connectivity. When the business community comes together and shares knowledge, shares a research, shares collaborates between big and small, that peer-to-peer learning that happens both formally and informally, be it at structured events or at the networking that Sid mentioned earlier, it's all about building networks, it's connecting people. A large part of what we do in the Dublin Chamber is also connecting people internationally. We work through the European Enterprise Network to support small and medium businesses to internationalise. So very interested in listening to Ambassador Gilson's outline of the areas where she felt the areas of opportunity might be for Dublin businesses to explore in Africa generally, but using Cape Town maybe as the launch pad for that type of activity, be it in fintech or life sciences or any of the areas that Dublin businesses are hugely strong on. Obviously, Dublin Airport is a huge driver of the Dublin economy as well. And in 2019, welcomed over 30 million visitors through the airport. We look forward to that level of global connectivity where we can get around and meet each other in person again very shortly. And certainly, I think Ambassador Maya and Sid and Frank make a compelling argument for visiting South Africa, the continuous blue sky, not being the least of those attractions for everybody that's familiar with a more variable climate here in Dublin. So we're absolutely committed to helping business community develop the networks they need to share the knowledge, both the practical information that's needed and also putting people in touch with either suppliers or collaborators or potential customers, and look forward to working more closely, particularly with the Chamber of Commerce there, but all of the businesses represented on the call today. So thank you very much, and I look forward to the rest of the session.
There you go. Interesting to hear Sid and Mary Rose and the two key elements of their presentations for engagement and connectivity. So that's why we're all here today, guys. We really need to open up. We're talking about opening up doorways and channels to opportunity. So there you are. There's the channels. They're available there. We just need to knock on the door harder. We need to open that door, kick it in, and get moving. So